How's practice today?
It was great. Energy was high. Weather wasn't with us, but we finished the day, and I feel like we got one step better.
Any rust today coming back from that week off?
Some people had a little bit of rust. Some people got right back into it. Just trying to remember the plays and stuff. It happens with some people. I was like that last year, so I totally get it. But some people had a slight rust.
What's this spring been like for you individually? How are you approaching it?
Just trying to get back healthy and back to 100% to where I can take some contact, and be ready for the season that's coming up. And just trying to stay mentally focused on the plays and everything and all the installs that's coming in. So just trying to stay prepared.
Are you doing like a lot of the individual stuff but not the team stuff? Like what's the split like for you in terms of your
So I do a lot of stuff on air. So when there's no contact, I do that. Individual stuff that like limited stuff, like I do a lot of forward things, but anything where I got to be explosive with my arm and shoulders, I can't do. But just so I'm off in there, just doing what I can when I can.
How are you feeling physically overall?
I'm great, in great spirits. My body feels great, and just the time is coming for me to get back out there. So,
what was the procedure that you ended up undergoing?
I had a labrum tear on my right shoulder. They had to go in there and get some loose bone and chipped off in there. So just a basic procedure. They got me fixed up real good.
You played through that at the end of the season? Like when did that happen?
I first started feeling it UTEP. It was one of the plays where we got them to jump off sides, and I went to pick up a block. It started bothering me then, but pushed through, and then the championship game, it bothered me towards the end of it. And then I went and got it looked at and everything before the bowl game, and come to find out that it was actually torn. So just had to push through that as one more game, tried to push through for my boys, and so I gave them all that I had.
I mean, you were the only back available in the bowl game. What kind of mentality did you enter that game with?
Just got to get the work done, I know it wasn't the next man, so I just had the mindset I got to carry the workload. Nothing different than what I was used to back in high school. So it was just had the same mentality: go get what you can and just continue to eat.
Were you limited in that game because of that, like a range of motion thing or anything like that?
In warm-ups, I had I can't think of the name of it. It was something restraining me. I had to take that off. So I know I really wasn't restrained. I was kind of hesitant really with it because it really started bothering me by then. But as the game got going, I got loose and it got out of my mind. So no, I really wasn't restrained probably after the first 2 drives.
Was there a risk that it could have gotten worse or become more severe? Was that scary at all?
Yeah, but we'd already made the decision I was going to get surgery, so my mindset was, it can't get any worse than what it already is because it's going to get fixed if it does. So might as well just go out there and give it my all and just fight through the pain. What's
the rehab like?
It's a lot, but Nick is getting me right. I'm up here early in the morning trying to get healthy, strengthen it, So it can be a lot, but I know that it can have a great outcome in the end and where I want to be in the end of my life. So it's worth it.
You're pretty physical back. It's kind of goes against your nature. What's the mental aspect of that for you? How hard is this spring kind of watching it from the side?
It's very hard because I'm a competitor. So, we got some great running backs that's in. So everybody thinks the job is secure for me, but I don't feel that way. I don't want it to be that way. I want to continue to work. I want to continue to be pushed. So me being on the sideline and watching the other players get the opportunity and shot kind of makes me jealous and hesitant, but
yeah.
Just the competitive nature in me wants to get out there and just show what I can do and that I'm still here.
Was that the first time you'd gone through an injury that was that severe and had to have surgery in the whole process?
No. As Coach Traylor said, when I first got here, I was injured. I came in with a fractured foot, and so I got my first surgery when I got here. And so that, other than this past surgery, that was my only other surgery, so that one's just as severe.
Once you get through some of these hurdles, what are some ways that you kind of want to elevate for next season, things you kind of want to work on within your own game?
This past season, I felt like I was just trying to get used to it. I hadn't gotten used to it yet. I wouldn't settle down. So a bunch of open field plays that I feel like I could have made and should have made, I didn't do. I just up to speed, just trying to run fast and run hard and just get the yards. But this year, I plan on trying to be a little bit more elusive and trying to balance a little bit more and keep the same aggression though, So just want to get more elusive, work on my hands a little bit more because you can always get better in every aspect. So work on my protection. Just I want to get better and become a very well-rounded back.
When you're aiming to become more elusive, are there like certain drills that you focus in on, or the ways you stress that? How do you go about that process?
I just do a couple footwork drills, set up a couple bags, work on juking those, and then like in practice walk through. I know when I don't go, I just mentally think of a defender being out there on the field with me. I'm working on moves mentally and what I would do in certain situations and such. So it's just everything is kind of mental right now, plus the bag work.
Who else from the running back room has kind of caught your attention or showed out well so far this spring?
Everyone, just stand on the sideline watching everybody get better day by day. It's everybody but Kedrick Cobbs. He's healthy now. He's getting back right. He's got my attention. He's probably the smartest guy I've ever met and know. So I know with him, he's going to do everything right, and he's going to do everything 100%. You got the 2 running backs that just came in from other schools. You got Rocco and Robert. Those guys are great. And just trying to take stuff from them as I watch from the sideline to add to my game because, that's just how a great player learns. So those 2, and then Beehive's coming in. So he's a great back, physical back, so just trying to watch him and see what he does coming out of high school because he was one of the top recruited backs in Texas. So, it's just trying to learn something from everyone.
What stands out about Rocco? What kind of player is he?
Rocco kind of reminds me of myself. I feel like he's a very physical back, quick, strong, elusive, and he can, and just like me, we're working on our hands, so and Rocco's a great back.
Does Robert kind of fit that mold as well, or should he bring something different to the table?
I feel like Robert brings something different to the table. He is more of an elusive back. I feel like he's going to be that guy that can make big plays, and burst for big runs, and so I can see him bringing that to the table after watching his tape from JUCO and high school and stuff like that, and that's how I see him.
It's been interesting with Frank Harris being limited that we get to look at some of the other quarterbacks. What have you seen from Eddie Lee kind of taking on that number 1 role a lot of the time?
I feel like Eddie Lee is stepping up to the role. Eddie Lee came in with me. I remember being behind Frank and B. Brady and Sincere, me and Eddie in the backfield working on stuff and trying to mimic those guys. So just seeing the progress that he's came as far as from where he has been, is great, and I'm excited for Eddie.
And there's a new one with McCown in here as well. What's your first impression of him and what he brings to the team?
He's a great QB. He's very smart, as most QBs are, but I feel like he's learned everything fast. I had a couple reps with him on air, and it seemed like everything was crisp with him. It kind of reminded me of Frank, but I feel like he's going to be a great asset to the QB room.
That's surprising. What ways does he remind you of Frank?
His arm, him and Frank, in my opinion, are very accurate, and then just their leadership ability that they're able to take over the offense and, just call everything. Like sometimes I'll be wrong, and he's addressed me sometimes. So, it's stuff like that he's bringing in that mimics Frank.
You can come to Pro Day tomorrow. Excited to see some guys?
Yes, sir. I am. Can't wait to see what those guys do. And actually, I don't think I was able to come last year, but this should be my first year watching. So just see some of the stuff that they get to do, and excited for those guys. They've been working hard for this, and I just can't wait to see it just work out for them.
Thank you, Kevorian.
Appreciate it. Thanks.